going to take the first few minutes of our family meeting and talk about bullying. Let's see. I'm going to sit over here. And let's start with the first rule. What's the first rule about bullying? Sierra.
Don't be a bully.
Yes, we will not bully, right? Is bully a person or is it something that you do? Keith. It's something that you do. It's an action. What is bullying? What is bullying? Nice and loud so everybody can hear you, Ben.
Several times on purpose.
Yes, it's when you do something several times on purpose. And this is unwanted things. And it is hurtful things. Okay? So bullying is an action, not a person. And it's when you're doing something several times on purpose that the other person doesn't want you to do, or that is hurting another person. So our first rule was we will not bully. What was our second rule, the one we've been working on this week? Keegan?
Stand up to somebody.
Yeah, we will help others who are being bullied. And we talked about ways we could do that. Keegan brought up a good point. We can stand up for our friends. What was another thing we could do? Addie?
Stand up for your friends and sometimes
Okay, you could stand up for them and not necessarily say anything to the bully, but say, oh, Ben, come on, come with me. Let's go play somewhere else. Right? That could be something that Addison could do if she saw that Ben was being bullied. What else could you do? What if you're getting bullied by an older student and you don't really feel comfortable? What else could you do? Colton?
Tell the teacher.
Yes, you could tell an adult, a teacher, a recess aide, whoever happens to be around. Okay? Rylan?
Or another bigger kid, like the high school.
Sure. Sure.
Like bullying on you and another high school person, you could get them and them can.
Yes. You absolutely have to tell someone, right? You have to tell someone if you see some sort of bullying behavior, something that you've seen several times, you know the person is doing on purpose and it's hurting that person's feelings or it's hurting them physically. It's unwanted behavior. So you can get an adult, you can be a friend and stand beside the person or take them with you to go play somewhere. You can also intervene directly by saying to the bully, stop. I see what you're doing to my friend. Please stop. The other thing we talked about is a lot of us, yesterday we did a scale of 1, 2, or 3 about how comfortable you would feel saying something to a bully or stopping bullying. This is probably the hardest rule of all, is helping other people who are bullied, because it's scary, because there's always a chance that we might get bullied. And a lot of us put up 3s. 3s meant that we were scared. And it would be hard for us to intervene. And it would be hard for us to say anything. Mrs. Kittleson said that when I was you, I would have been a 3. I was a shy girl when I was in school. I was nervous. And if I saw someone being bullied, I definitely wouldn't go into that situation. I might be able to tell somebody about it, but I wouldn't be able to go into the situation myself. One of the biggest things that you have to be comfortable with, and I hope that I'm building your confidence, is the ability to tell someone to stop when something is hurting you. Whether it's your feelings or whether it's they're physically hurting you, you need to tell them to stop. It doesn't have to be in a mean way. You can just explain to them, please stop teasing me. It's hurting my feelings. Okay? Be your own advocate. Advocate means standing up for yourself. Just in case no one else can, make sure that you are able to stand up for yourself. So we talked about how hard it would be. We talked about what you would say. Imani, you brought up some good points the other day about what you would say. How would you talk to someone?
Please stop. You're doing it several times on purpose. Please stop.
Yes. You're doing something to me several times on purpose. Please stop.
Or several times on purpose.
Right. And so Imani is very direct. She says exactly what it is that you're doing. Does she say that you're being a bully?
No.
No, she never says that. She never says you're being a bully. She says, please stop poking my friend. You're doing it on purpose. You've done it several times on purpose. Please stop. So you don't have to call someone a bully. Instead, say what they're doing and ask them to stop. A couple questions that I had left on our sheet here was, do you think that the solution that telling someone will change the situation? So if someone is being bullied, do you think that telling an adult or standing up to the bully or something, do you think that will change the situation?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes?
I kind of think.
Okay, why do you kind of think so?
Because they might just really keep on bullying on us and my friends.
Okay, so it might not happen right away, right? Maybe you'll need to tell them several times. Kind of like when you're learning something. Some of us, we get it right away. Other people, it takes a little longer, right? The same thing might happen with bullying. Do you still need to report it? Yes, you still need to report it. You still need to report the behavior that is hurting someone or that is hurting you. That's unwanted and it happens several times and you know they're doing it on purpose. When I just said reporting, I wanted to go back to something we had talked about a couple weeks ago about the difference between reporting and tattling. Can you tell me the difference between reporting and tattling, Mr. Bates? Okay, go ahead, say something else.
Like if another bully is bullying another bully, then you still have to stand up for another bully.
Exactly. It doesn't matter who it is, right? Even if you don't like that person, even if that person has been mean to you in the past. It is your job, according to our bully rules, to help others who are being hurt in some way.
And the difference between reporting and tattling, it's like tattling is when somebody trips you and they say sorry, and then you go and tattle. And then reporting is when they trip you and you don't say sorry. Then, and they do it several times on purpose, then that's report.
Right. That was a perfect example that Colton gave. If you accidentally get tripped once, and maybe, my big feet are in the way, and I say sorry, and then they come up and they say, well, Mr. Towsley, they tripped me on purpose. Or, they tripped me. And if I had already said sorry, that means I'm showing apology. I didn't mean to do it. That is a situation that has already been resolved. By you telling the teacher or by you telling the recess aide, that means you're tattling because the person already apologized. They didn't mean to do it. Colton did say, on the other hand, though, if this person is doing it several times on purpose, that might be an issue that you need to report. Okay, so there's a difference. There's also a difference, we talked about, Julie's taking too much tape. Mrs. Kittleson, Julie took a really big piece of tape. Okay, that might be something I want to know, but is it a reason to tattle?
No.
No. Could you probably solve that problem with Julie? Yeah, you could say, whoa, Julie, I noticed you took a big piece of tape. You want to share? Okay, rather than going and tattling on her. There are a lot of things that you, as students, because you're big now, right? You're not babies anymore. There are certain things that you all can figure out on your own. Like things like that. Or, Colton left the water on in the bathroom. Okay, well, turn the water off and then say, hey Colton, you forgot to turn the water off in the bathroom. Right? You don't need to tattle on him for it. So those are some of the differences between reporting and tattling. Keegan.
If you're, can I use, Isabella for example?
Isabel, is it okay if he uses you as an example? Yes.
If Owen's on my team and Isabella is, the bully, and me and Owen, if Isabella says you have a duel, and we say yes, we can technically just trick Isabella and just run away.
You could. Yep. Yep. If you need to get out of a situation, if someone is hurting you, then I would say that that is acceptable. Keith, can you face us and join, please?
I have to really.
What Keegan was saying sparked another thing that I was thinking about. when I was sitting next to Caitlin. Oh, I'm sitting next to Caitlin now. We were talking about, she had said that sometimes a bully can be in like a team. So it's maybe not just one person picking on someone, but it's like a team of people. So it could be Caitlin, myself, and Imani, and I could be the leader, but we might be like the mean girls of the group, and we're always picking on Addie. Is it more difficult to say something to a group of people than it is to say something to just one person?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's a little more intimidating, right? It's a little bit scarier. How hard is it, do you think, to follow our rules? And let's do a scale. Let's say 1 is you think it's really easy to follow the non-bullying rules. And 2, it's kind of in the middle. And 3, I think it's going to be really hard to follow the rules. Let's look at rule number 1. We will not bully. What do you think? It's going to be easy for me? So-so. It's going to be a hard rule for me. Show me with your finger. How do you feel? Okay. Good. Thank you for being honest. How about number 2? Because this is a difficult rule. How hard will it be for you to help others who are being bullied? And remember, you might be dealing with some older students. Okay? It could be a 1, it's going to be easy for me to follow. A 2, it might be kind of hard sometimes. Or a 3, I'm kind of a shy person, I get a little bit anxious, it's going to be pretty hard for me. Be honest, it's perfectly fine, because this kind of sparks our conversation. So a 3, you're really nervous. A 2, you think you can handle it. A 1, I would happily stand up for someone.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
I'm thinking
Okay.
if it's in moment.
Good. Addie, you've had your hand up.
If you were on the boat team and you kind of didn't like it anymore, you said I didn't want to be on the team anymore, you could just go away.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've talked about that. Because bully is an action, it's something that you do. Just because someone accuses you or says you are a bully does not mean that you have to be a bully forever. Just because you have a bad year, or you have a bad few weeks, and you make some bad choices, does not mean that you can't turn yourself around and stop your poor choices. Doesn't mean that you can't stop the hurtful behavior. Some of us have been in a situation where we've made poor choices, we've picked on someone, it went past just teasing, we knew that we were hurting their feelings. Okay? Just because you do that does not mean that you can't stop now, if that's what's happening. Imani.
Okay. Remember a couple of weeks ago when you'd be a bully? Had to be a bully?
Mm-hmm. We talked about the different ways that
Yeah.
you bully. Yeah.
I was thinking like pushing them down or taking their glasses.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that could definitely be a bullying action.
And the glasses are beautiful.
Thank you.
And I'm going to have
Let's see. I can only take about 3 more, because then we have to wrap it up. I haven't heard from Isabella yet. I haven't heard from Owen yet, and I haven't heard from Keith yet. So let's go Isabella, Owen, and Keith.
What if the bully has a huge group? It's like 16 of them, and the person that's nice doesn't have any group.
Yeah.
No one does anything.
Yeah. That's hard. She brought up a good situation. What would you do? What would you do if there was a really whole big group of people being mean, and there was one nice person? How would you feel? Sierra.
I'm gonna call for help.
Okay, you could call for help.
No.
Ben.
It would feel sad.
You would feel sad. If Isabella, let's pretend Isabella is the leader of that group, and she's the one, let's say she's calling Mrs. Kittleson freckle face, or she's, saying some sort of mean words, and all her friends are laughing. Are they part of the bullying behavior?
Yeah.
Yes. They are part of the bullying behavior, because by them laughing at me and seeing that I'm hurt, they're making fun of me as well.
Why not 15?
Owen, what was yours?
My brother, my older brother, he always bullies me, and last night, keep on throwing pencils at me and drawing stuff on my feet.
and it was starting to annoy you? Did you say something?
Wait, Dad, my mom.
Yeah, good. We talked about how with brothers and sisters it's kind of hard because we think that they're being bullied, but they're just being mean, kind of, because the relationship between brothers and sisters is a little bit different. But Owen was right to say something. Even if it is your brother or sister who is bugging you, or who keeps doing something several times on purpose, trying to get a rise out of you, say something. Tell them to stop. Tell them exactly what they're doing that you don't like, so that they know. Keith, you are my last one.
Bella and Owen and Addie are on a team, and they are a bad team, and Sierra, Griffin and Colton and Maddie are on a good team. Ben and Anne can come and join the good team, so it'll be harder for the bad team to fight the good team.
Okay, so maybe you can get people together that support the person who's being hurt. If Griffin is the one being hurt, if someone is picking at him or someone is doing some sort of behavior that he does not want, we can come together and we can say, Griffin, come on, come with us. Or Griffin, I'll stand up by you. I'll tell them to stop. And then Colton says, well, I'll stand by you too and tell them to stop. So definitely, there can be a group of people that help the person who is being hurt as well. So we have the two rules. We will not bully, and we will help other people who are being bullied. Okay? We have one more question tomorrow, and that question was, if you were being bullied, do you think you would want someone to help you?
Yes.
How would you want them to help you? I want you to think about that. That's our question for tomorrow. That's the question we're going to discuss. So if you were being bullied, would you want someone to help you? And how would you want them to help you? Okay? That's what I want you to think about.